Okay. Okay, let's start with the trapezoids. So these are trapezoids and kites are the two that are not parallelograms. Okay, so a trapezoid is a quadrilateral. Zoom in. A quadrilateral. A quadrilateral with exactly one pair of parallel sides. Okay, so notice the difference is that a parallelogram had two pairs of parallel sides, but a quadrilateral has one pair of parallel sides. Okay, so that's the first property. So number one will be that it has exactly one pair of parallel sides. Okay, so to show that, we're going to put our little triangles or arrows. So I'm going to label my trapezoid A, B, C, D, and then these points over here, E and F. Okay, so what are the two sides that are parallel? A, B, and DC are parallel sides. Okay. And then we have a formula for the median. But so some textbooks call it the median, some textbooks call it the mid-segment. So just know that the mid-segment and median are the same. Okay? The median and mid-segment are the same. And so the mid-segment is this line right there. Okay? And so notice the formula, it tells you that the median is 1/2 base 1 plus base 2. So we can rewrite this as base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. Okay, so that's always going to be the formula to find the mid-segment. Base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. Is anyone confused by that? Okay, then let's move on to an isosceles trapezoid. What do you think an isosceles trapezoid is? Think of the word isosceles.
It's like the isosceles triangle.
Right, and what is special about an isosceles triangle? There's two congruent sides. Okay, so an isosceles trapezoid, okay, is a trapezoid with, what does that say? With the trapezoid where the legs are congruent. So I'm going to go up here and I'm just going to label some things on this trapezoid. So my basis on the trapezoid would be AB. So that would be base 1. And then DC is base 2. And then EF is that mid-segment or median, whichever one you encounter. But we'll be talking about the mid-segment. Okay, so looking at this trapezoid, this isosceles trapezoid, I'm going to label.
Good morning, New Waverly High School. Please.
So let me label this picture down here. We're going to call this F, G, H, I. Okay, so what would be the basis in this picture? Anyone? Okay, so FG would be a base. And then IH would be a base. So what do you think the legs are? Which ones are the legs, sorry? F, I, and GH. That's right. So that's going to be our first property. It's that it has, the first property is that it has exactly one pair of parallel sides. Okay, so we're just going to show that they're parallel. The basis will always be parallel. Okay, the median or mid-segment has a formula there. And the formula is base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. So that's our formula to find the median. We don't have the median drawn on here, but the way you could draw it is you would find the midpoint of Fi, and then you would find the midpoint of GH, and then connect it. That's why it's called the median, because it is the middle of the trapezoid. Mine looks a little crooked. Okay. So 3, this is special to the isosceles trapezoid, and that's that legs are congruent. Okay. Congruent. So the legs, Fi and GH, are going to be congruent. So here are the legs. Okay. 4 diagonals are going to be congruent. Diagonals are congruent. Listen. And 5 base angles will also be congruent. Base angles are going to be congruent. So that means that angle I is going to be congruent to angle H, and then angle F is going to be congruent to angle G. Always for isosceles trapezoid.
Is I and H supposed to be, they're all congruent?
I is congruent to H, so it should only have one.
Okay, well, I did see one.
And then, yeah, that's fine. Okay. 4. So let's move on to example 1. Guys, there's too much talking. Please stop. Find the value of x. Okay. What do you think these two should add up to? 180. That's right. So you would do 12x plus 3 is plus 13x plus 2 is equal to 180. Does that make sense, everyone? Okay, so combine our like terms. 25x plus 5 is equal to 180. What am I going to do now? Subtract 5. 25x is equal to 175.
That's, 7.
X is equal to what, sorry? 7. Okay. And just something to note here, these two, right, are going to add up to 180 always. So the consecutive, they're going to add up to 180, and then these would add up to 180. Okay.
So will the other two add up to 180?
That's right.
Oh yeah, the both 90.
Right. Okay. Example 2. Okay. Where? This. Okay, example 2. Example 2. AB is 7y plus 6, so that's this base, 7y plus 6. EF is 5y minus 3. We want to find DC, and DC is y minus 2. Just kidding. We want to find y. Okay, so this is where we're going to be using that formula, base 1 plus base 2 divided by 2. Okay, so what's my first base? What is it? DC, which is? So we're going to do y minus 2 plus what? 7y plus 6.
All the sides, like all the angles of these add up to 180.
They all add up to 360 because it's a quadrilateral. But if we're doing half, what's half of 360? 180. So that means that these two angles are going to add up to 180, and these two angles are going to add up to 180 because they should all add up to 360. Yes? Okay. And so this is going to equal 5y minus 3. Okay. Okay, let's combine our like terms. 8y plus 4 divided by 2. Okay, we're combining our like terms.
How is it 5y?
8. Where?
For example 2, how is it 5y?
5y minus 3?
Yeah.
Because that's the mid segment. That's the mid segment.
Oh, so it equals the mid segment?
Yes, that's the formula right here. 8y plus 4 divided by 2 is equal to 5y minus 3. Okay, so I want to get rid of this 2. What would I do? So multiply by 2 to both sides. So the 2's are going to cancel. 8y plus 4 is equal. Let's distribute the 2 in. 2 times 5 is? 2 times 5 is? Minus, what's 2 times 3? Negative 6. So now I'm going to combine my like terms. So I'm going to subtract 8y both sides. So 4 is equal to 2y minus 6. Now what do I do? Plus 6 to both sides. 10 is equal to 2y. Divide by 2. Y is equal to 5. Okay, so I know it's a lot of algebra, but it's algebra. Y'all should be good with algebra. Okay. Okay, example 3. DONE is an isosceles trapezoid with the measure of angle EDO being 110. So EDO is this part right here, or this angle right here. Okay, and so that is 110. And then DEN, this whole angle, is 15x minus 5. We want to find the value of x. What do we do? Nope. They add up to 180. Yep. 110 plus 15x minus 5 is equal to 180. We're going to combine our like terms. When I combine my like terms, what do I get on my left side? 105 plus 15x is equal to 180. 110 minus 5 is 105. Yes. Okay, now I want to get x by itself. What do I do? Minus 105. What is 180 minus 105? Because
negative 5. So what you add 5?
okay, listen, Caitlin. We're combining our like terms.
Oh, okay, I got it now. Okay, got it.
Okay. What's 180 minus 105? 75. Divide by 15. X is 5. Example 4. Did y'all get example 3?
I'm writing it down.
Now let's look at example 4. TRAP is an isosceles trapezoid. If PR, listen, if PR is 3x minus 7, so PR is this one right here. Okay, and then TA is 20. Find the value of x. Notice it's an isosceles trapezoid, which means the legs are congruent. What do we do? Yes, that's right. So you would set them equal to each other. Because the diagonals are congruent for an isosceles trapezoid. Any questions? Okay, add 7 to both sides. 3x is equal to 27. Divide by 3, x is equal to 9. Yes. Okay, let's go ahead and flip over to kite.